welcome back to another video. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I have a special guest on my channel today, Stella from Fly with Stella. If you guys follow my flight attendant journey and follow other flight attendant vloggers, I am sure you know who Stella is. So I'm so excited to be at her place today. I have a Newark layover, so we came over to the city in New York to sit down and answer some of your questions. So Stella, introduce yourself for those of you that don't know you.
Hi guys, I am Stella. I am another YouTuber, flight attendant vlogger. So we posted a picture on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of our social media. We posted out there and we asked you guys to ask us any flight attendant questions that you had, and we were going to answer them. So this is us doing that.
Yeah, so let's get started. We do have a few, so we want to make sure that we get to most of them. So if we don't get to your question on this video, you might see it over at Stella's video. So make sure that you go check out her video as well. So the first question is from Danielle Niebauer.
I'm the worst at these Instagram names. They are so hard. We couldn't read any of them.
I know, we had to stop. But you know what? Sometimes you guys get so creative, and I'm like,
yeah, it's like underscore xxx.237. Okay.
It's like
what's your question?
Like a zip code. Okay, so what kind of things in life can help you prepare for a career as a flight attendant? Or what kind of experience would look good on an application? I'm so excited to start my flight attendant journey.
I think definitely if you have a lot of customer service, they love that. The recruiters are always looking for customer service oriented, like customer service jobs.
Anything in the customer service industry. Anything. I used to work at a bank. I know people used to work at Disneyland,
Starbucks, Apple.
Yes. As
Disney,
long as
Nordstrom.
Yes, Nordstrom. If you deal with the general public, you're good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have to go to college to be a flight attendant, and can you stay or choose your base?
Should we say this at the same time if you have to go to college to be a flight attendant?
Yes, let's do it.
1, 2, 3. No!
You don't need to go to college. There are flight attendant academies out there that you can go to. You do have to pay for them, however, but it's not necessary. You will have to go through flight attendant training with whichever airline hires you. And as far as choosing the base, that varies with your airline. So whichever airline hires you, some of them will send you to a random base and you won't find out until the end of training. And some of them you can apply, you can choose when you're applying for the position. So Serge says, yay, I'm so excited. What is your favorite part about being a flight attendant? And if you could work for any other airline, which would it be? And what is your least favorite part about being a flight attendant? Thank you so much. So
Hi, Serge.
Hi, Serge. What is your favorite part about being a flight attendant?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is gonna sound so crazy, but my favorite thing about being a flight attendant is getting to the hotel room and it being so clean, so simplistic, not cluttered. Like, you know, at your home and like everything's just like a hot mess. When you get to that hotel, it's like perfect. The bed is made and like the towels are clean. Yeah. Not traveling the world or like going to like different countries. The hotels.
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with that. I love going to the hotel. I feel like that's my favorite part. I mean, I like to explore and stuff, but I just feel so relaxed and so pleased when I get to the hotel room.
It's like a mini vacay.
Quiet. I have a 5-year-old and I'm pregnant, so any quiet time that I can sneak in, I'm like, yes. It's my mom. I call it my momcation. And if you could work for any other airline, which one would it be? Stella works for one of the major airlines in the United States, so I think it is. It's the biggest airline in the world,
right now. As of right now, my airline's the biggest airline in the world. I love my airline. Like, I love my union. I love the people that I've met. I wouldn't want to work for any other airline. I'm very
happy where you're at.
I'm very grateful and I'm very happy. Yeah.
That's good.
What about you?
I love my airline too, but if I had to choose, I would actually choose Emirates because.
Oh wow. Dubai.
Yeah, but only because I would want to live in Dubai and just because I like their uniform. But that's it.
Oh yeah, their uniform is really cool.
And you know what? Like, I follow a lot of Emirates flight attendants and they go to like the coolest places ever. I was following this flight attendant. She's like in Jordan right now. The other one was in Ethiopia.
Hello, you were in New York City.
That's true. New York is actually my favorite city in the entire world. Like if I could live anywhere, it would be New York City.
Well, New York City and LA, but I do like New York.
See, I grew up in LA, so I'm just like,
no, I just can't get away from my roots. Okay.
live and die in LA, right? Amber, and I don't want to say her last name because I don't want to butcher it. But what is something you both have in common? Both from California.
Both from Cali.
Southern California. There's a difference. You know, if you're from California, you know there's a difference between
NorCal and SoCal.
Two completely different worlds.
Different states.
Yes.
You should maybe just chop it down the middle.
We need a border. So, we're both from California. Both of our husbands are in finance. Mine is just starting out, and Bart is already established in his area.
Yes.
What else?
We're both flight attendants.
We're both flight attendants.
We're both YouTubers.
We're both YouTubers.
And we're friends. Yeah, we became friends through YouTube, and we've been friends. We've been talking back and forth for like
almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we started our channel.
Yeah, we started literally, our channel like literally the same time.
Yeah. I was just telling her I watched my first video. The first video I ever watched of yours was your flight attendant pail. And I was
lunch pail.
I was so curious because like, what is a pail? I call it a lunch bag and she calls it a pail. So I'm like, what is that? So I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, another vlogger. That's cool. And then I was just hooked ever since.
Yeah.
So, and here we are.
Same thing. I saw one of her first video ever and I was like, oh, okay, she's got the sriracha thing. Cool.
That is a cringeworthy video, so if you guys want some cringeworthy material,
you know what though? We leave our first YouTube videos up on our pages for you guys to seriously go look at our very first videos and see where we started. Because we're not like we were not as comfortable as we are now on camera that we were when we first started. I was like,
yeah,
hi.
I think that's all we have. Well, we have a lot of the same tastes, except. Well, you like designer bags. I like designer baby gear. I like luxury baby gear.
Is there a Chanel baby carrier?
Okay, next question. Lucille.Wells, I think, WLS. Were your current airlines your first choices when you started applying as flight attendants, and where do you girls see each other in 10 years?
Oh, got 10 years? Man.
I don't even want to know about how old I'm going to be in.
Oh gosh, I'm going to still be 21 because I turn 21 every year.
You are forever 21.
Yes. No, my airline was my third airline. Not necessarily my third choice, but I applied to 3 airlines at the same time, and I got hired by my airline.
I applied to 3 airlines as well. However, my airline was not my first choice. I knew nothing of my airline, and my dream was Delta, and now that I'm at my airline, I don't think I would go anywhere. No, I'm happy where I'm at, and I've had the opportunity to leave, and I wouldn't leave. Yeah. Okay. 10 years. Where do you see you in 10 years?
Being 21 and fabulous.
That's
my answer.
My son will be 15. Jesus. And this one will be 10. I'll be 37.
Ah! Ellie, don't say your age. Healthy and happy. Healthy
kids, and hopefully with a 3rd child. Hopefully. God. Gosh, why would you ask?
Maybe I'll have 1 child.
I mean, I'm just gonna take a sip.
Yeah, let's, next question.
Okay, Emma Nicole. I plan on applying straight out of university. Would you recommend this career as a first real job? Also, do you feel the salary is enough to support yourself comfortably? Side note, addicted to your vlogs, love you both. Okay, so I think Stella and I are a little bit more vague and private when it comes to this. Stella doesn't really talk about it, and neither do I. And the reason why is because there is no right or wrong answer. There isn't just one answer.
Salary.
There isn't.
Yeah.
So it varies from the airline, to the country, and your years of service. So you can, I don't make the same as you, and you don't make the same as me. And there's so many different factors that come into play.
Yes.
For example, your airline doesn't have overtime.
No.
We do. Your airline doesn't pay protect. We do. Another airline pay protects. other airlines don't.
We pay protect, but it's so complicated that it'd be so hard to describe. And
like you would have to be in it to understand.
and we get paid different amounts for different positions. So if you're like your lead flight attendant, you make more. If you're galley flight attendant, you make more. We make per diem. So the minute we sign on, like we make a certain amount of per diem on top of our salary, and then that varies whether you're international or domestic. And then also just how many hours a month you work. Like if you're somebody like me, I fly low time. So I fly like between 40 and 60 hours a month. And how many hours do you fly?
50 to 60.
So see, it's different. And then some of my girlfriends, they fly 90 hours every month. That's what they fly. Some people fly high time, which is like 100 plus hours. So it's just so hard to talk about salary.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really complicated. And I guess to kind of give you an answer, I work about 60 to 70 hours a month, let's just say. Can you live comfortable on that salary? No. And I am a 3-year flight attendant. If I was single with no husband, no second income, no. I mean, I don't think you can.
I think you can with my airline. I don't know like your salary range, but I know like a lot of my girlfriends, they work, I would say you have to at least work 90 plus hours. And I think you could definitely be a flight attendant. I would recommend the first few years that you either live at home or you live at a crash pad or get a bunch of roommates, because you definitely, it's very hard to afford an apartment by yourself on first year salary. I say once you hit 3 years, it starts getting better, but yeah, first few years are a little rough. It'd be nice to have help or money saved up.
Yeah, if the longer you've been with the company, the more money you're gonna make and the more comfortable it's gonna get. But the first 2-3 years, you can't live comfortably off this salary. But
it's hard.
Yeah, the flight attendants that have been at my airline for 4 or more years, I mean, they're fine.
Yeah,
they're fine. But when you first start, you're broke. Okay. So I belong in Hawaii _26 is asking, I just got my tattoo right before my idea of becoming a flight attendant. I feel very heartbroken and discouraged from some stuff I've heard. Am I going to have to get it removed to do my future job? It's a clock on my inner forearm. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask Stella. I don't have any tattoos, but I know Stella does.
So I have a tattoo on the top of my foot, and my best advice is do not lie about having a tattoo. It's totally okay to have a tattoo if you're applying for US carriers. Like international is a completely different like game. Like the international carriers, I think you're absolutely not allowed to have tattoos. But for the US carriers, you are allowed to have tattoos. You just can't lie about it. So you just have to tell them, yes, I have a tattoo, and they'll ask you, can you cover it up? Yes, let me show you. Like, you can use the makeup, or they don't really like you to use Band-Aids, so just make sure that if you're interviewing that day and say you have a clock here or something, you just put a really good makeup on it and that you can lift your sleeve or show them and see like, look, my tattoo's here. But you can't see it because I've covered it up because I know how to. So that's all.
And most of the time airlines have long sleeve options for your uniform, so you can always say that. You know, you would cover it up with a long sleeve uniform, shirt or dress, sweater, whatever. And I have heard of airlines just saying we don't want any visible tattoos. So keyword on visible. Tattoos.
Do you have visible tattoos? Well, no, it's invisible. Can you see it?
Yeah.
No. So use really good makeup.
Croft TD. Are passengers allowed to give things to flight attendants? Like on long haul flights, I've always wanted to give the flight attendants a big box of cookies, biscuits, sweets, but I wasn't sure if it's allowed or too weird. I just think it would be nice to give them something yummy to enjoy on a long flight. You want to say it together?
Yes.
Ready?
So
okay. 1, 2, 3.
Yes!
Yes, of course.
I literally have, I had a guy one time come onto my flight with the Starbucks cake pops.
Ooh.
He had a bunch of them for the entire flight crew and the pilots, and I had never tried a Starbucks cake pop, and now I'm obsessed with them.
They're so good.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Passenger. Like those cake pops, I have them all the time now. They're so good.
Okay, Charlene Libdesma is asking each of us a separate question.
Okay.
So, she's asking me, when am I going to do a gender reveal, and are you doing a birth vlog story? I am going to do a gender reveal. I'm just waiting.
How are you going to do it?
Okay, so I ordered something on Amazon, and it just got there, but the weather in Texas has been just terrible lately, and it has to be filmed outdoors. So that's all I'm going to say.
Oh my gosh, is it like a firework or a big cake that's going to like powders?
It said TNT, the package said TNT, so it might be explosive. Are you planning on having any kids? I feel like you always get this question.
I always get this question. If it's meant to be, it will be.
I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. To be continued.
Okay, because it's Cynthia is asking, how does the schedules work, and do flight attendants get paid hourly?
Ooh, that's a good one.
So that might vary too with your airline.
Definitely.
Your system might be different from mine.
Yeah.
You might use a completely different system, website.
But let's give them a general.
So a general,
General.
you have a set day, a set period of time that you have to go on whichever system, put in your bids, so you bid for your trip.
In general, you get, every month, you get bid packets. So our company does physical bid packets, which are like 40 to like 70 pages long, and then we also have it online. So then you get your bid packet, you see what you want to fly the next month, you bid for an entire month's line. So you bid for your entire schedule for next month. And then bid packets will come out about a week or so before you actually have to bid. And then you will bid, and that will be open. My company opens it for like 4 days.
Same.
Okay, same.
4 to 5.
4 to 5 days, and then it cuts off at midnight, and then the next day we'll get our tentative bid results. And then ours is mostly like around 11 o'clock the next day. We'll get our tentative phase 1 bid results, and that will give us our entire next month's schedule. And then 4 days after that tentative comes out, bids will be finalized, and then we can, once they're finalized, it's like a frenzy, and all the flight attendants trade their trips, they drop their trips, they give their trips away, they pick up more trips. It's just like, it's like crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how our scheduling works.
It's the same thing for us. We have specific days where we have to bid, and it's all seniority based for us. Some companies have this thing called preferential bidding, so it doesn't necessarily go by seniority. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but for my airline, it's seniority based. What do you normally bid for? Like, if you had to bid for your schedule, what do you bid for? What do you look for in a line?
Okay, you guys, my favorite, because like you can bid 3-day trips, you can bid, we have only a few 4-day trip lines, and so when I say 3-day trips, meaning like I have 4 3-day trips, 4 or 5 3-day trips for the entire month. My favorite though is to bid for 2 days. I don't really like 3-day trips. I think I'm gone too long from home. Franny forgets who I am. And I don't really like day trips because I live in the city, and to get to JFK or LaGuardia, it's really hard. So I bid 2-day trips, and I'll work maybe 1 2-day trip a week, and that's all I fly. But I'm a low time flyer.
Okay.
So what do you bid?
I'm the same. I usually bid for days off. Right.
Oh, and I bid weekends off too.
Always,
because then I can hang out with Bart.
So for me, it depends on my situation. If you watch my channel, you know I have a 5-year-old, and now that I'm pregnant, I try to work the least that I can. I get so tired. It's getting harder. I'm 6 months pregnant, so it's getting really hard to fly.
Yeah.
So mine varies, but I normally work weekends so that I can be home with my son and take him to school, pick him up from school. So
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
So my husband's home during the weekend, and I would like to do red eyes too. I'm in the middle of my seniority right now, so sometimes I can pick up red eyes, sometimes I can't. I'm not senior enough to hold 2 days.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, 2 days I can never really pick them up unless I get lucky. I hate 4 days. I'm on a 4-day right now.
I hate red eyes. I
Really?
can't even, oh my god, I can never do a 4-day. You're in a 4-day right
I'm
now?
on a 4-day. I left, what's today? Friday? We left Thursday. We don't get home till Sunday night. So they're long.
Gosh.
I hate 4 days, and just like you were saying, like Franny forgets about you. I feel like my son just like grew up, and he's just like this completely
like a foot taller.
person.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did you learn how to say that? And it's just it's too long. It's just way too long.
And see, this is really good though, because like with so many flight attendants, you can always manipulate your schedule, because like for me, if I by accident if we worked for the same company and I got like all weekends, I could call Allie and be like, hey dude, you want to pick up some of my trips? I do not want to work weekends. Like if you have any trips during the week, I'll take those trips and you take my weekend trips, and you can make your schedule to whatever you want it to be. It's such a flexible job.
It really is. It really is. My schedule is a little bit more restricted because of what I have going on at home. When I have all the liberty to pick up whatever I want, I will pick up 3 days. That's all I really want, 3 days, because they're worth my time. If I'm gonna be away from home, I better be getting good.
They're high hours.
Credit hours.
Yeah.
Yes. In your time as a flight attendant, what has been your most proudest achievement to date?
Oh my gosh! Really digging down deep. What is your proudest moment to date?
Mine is a little serious. I don't know if I want to mention it. It's a little serious, but I had a situation. I'm not going to get into details because it's raw. There was this little girl who was in danger in one of our flights, and she was a little girl. And when you go through flight attendant training, you are trained to watch out for certain situations. And because of the training that I received, I was able to recognize the red flags. And because of this, I was able to potentially save a little girl from a really bad situation. So I think that's one of my proudest moments, just because people kind of have a misconception of flight attendants that we're just waitresses in the sky, but we do so much more than just
pour your Diet Cokes.
Yeah, like we do so much more than that. Flight attendant training is 6 weeks long for a reason. Mm-hmm. So I think that's my proudest moment. Being able to use the training and actually do something good in the world, I guess, or in life.
That is a really good moment to be proud of, Allie. That's so good. I think some of my proudest moments is whenever I have a military person on and I just see them, and I always make it a point, if they're in uniform, if we have any available first class seats, to try to move them up. And then if we don't, I always go up. I thank them for their service. I serve them first. So can I get you a drink right away? Can I get you a complimentary snack? I want to thank you for your service. Just all of that. And for me, I always feel really good when I go thank them and I know they're like going on deployment or just coming back or being torn away from a loved one. So I think those are some of my proudest moments.
Making people feel valued.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like nowadays a lot of people don't feel valued. Yeah. So I think you being nice to them you make someone's day. You never know. Someone was probably mean to them. They're upset about something. Traveling can be very stressful. Yeah. So when they get on that aircraft and you're being nice and making them feel valued, I think that's great. So I think we're going to answer one last question, and then I have a special guest that I want to bring on so you guys can meet him. So Marla.Gall, I think I'm saying it right. When and how did you realize that you wanted to be a flight attendant?
Why do you immediately look at me, Allie? You're like, when and how did you want to be a flight attendant?
Spotlight.
Tell me.
Spotlight. Okay.
You answer. I'm interested to hear yours. Yeah.
Okay, well, I was working at a financial institution. I was a personal banker, and I was just overwhelmed with my job at the time, and I was kind of at a crossroads. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I wanted to move up the corporate ladder or what. So I was doing a home equity line of credit for a customer, and I was going to say passenger, a customer, and she goes, we get to the occupation part, and I go, what is your occupation? And she goes, oh, I'm a flight attendant. I said, oh, that's such a cool job. I would have liked to do that, but I'm a mom. I have a kid. I can't. She's like, so? Single moms do it all the time. And I'm like, tell me more. Oh, wow. And so then it was just, that was it. I texted George, my husband, and I go, hey, what do you think about me becoming a flight attendant?
I'm going to be a flight attendant.
He's like, oh my God, do it. Yes. He was more excited about it than I was.
Oh, wow.
And so I went home that night, researched it, and that was it. I was obsessed with the idea. I needed to be a flight attendant. That was it. It had to be my job.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I've never heard that story. Okay, wait. So my mom's best friend is a flight attendant, and I had just quit another job and I didn't have a job, and I was like, what should I do? Like, what's my next step in life? And my mom was like, you should be a flight attendant. Danian's a flight attendant, and she works for, this company, and she can refer you, and I think that'd be a great job for you. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. Like, flight attendant? Do I even like to fly that much? What would I do in the plane for like hours? And then I was like, oh, let me apply. Got rejected for my first 2 airlines, got my 3rd one, and I was just like, okay, let me give this a try. It sounds fun.
It's very rare for people to get hired on their first try.
Yes.
But look at Stella. Here she is. She's working for a huge airline, and she was persistent,
Yeah, it was my 3rd airline. Yeah.
So don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
Don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
So my channel, you always get to see a lot of girly stuff, makeup stuff, home stuff, mommy stuff, but you never really get to see a male flight attendant's perspective of the job. So I wanted you to meet Richard, and he can give you some tips on how to stand out on your flight attendant interview if you're an aspiring male flight attendant. So Richard, what tips do you have?
Like, you know, everyone has been saying you do need to smile, but you don't want to act overly flamboyant or, you know, overly eccentric as a male flight attendant. You want to dress modern but also conservative. You want to have a nicely fitted suit that's been tailored around, you know, your key areas like your shoulders, waist, and bum. And you also want to have a nice cleaned and pressed and starched shirt, along with a tie with a nice little knot crease. That's always one of my favorite things to do when I go to work, is just have that little crease there. You will get so many compliments and go have flying colors. I also like to have a nice brand new or newly shined leather shoe. I think that shows that you just put a lot of detail into your interview attire. And you also want to make sure that your hairstyle is very conservative, but not, you know, wear it like you normally do, but make sure it's styled correctly.
Not too casual.
Yeah, not too casual, but, you know, don't go overly dramatic with the product.
So be yourself, but a better version of yourself.
And also make sure that you do not have facial hair. You can have facial hair as a male flight attendant, but every airline has different guidelines, so you want to make sure that you're just clean shaven. That's just the safest method to go.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope some of you were able to get some tips. I know I have a lot of male flight attendants that always ask me, or aspiring male flight attendants that always ask me some tips, but for obvious reasons I can't really help you there, so I thought it was a good idea to have Richard here. So again, thank you so much, Richard. Okay guys, so that concludes this flight attendant Q&A. Thank you, Stella, so much for having us over and for joining us here on my channel.
And thank you guys so much for all of your questions that you guys posted on our Instagram accounts.
Yes, if you guys aren't following either one of us on our social media, all of the links will be down below. I know for Stella and I, we upload more on Instagram than we do on YouTube.
Yeah, we post a ton on Instagram stories and more daily pictures than we do on like YouTube.
So if you want to keep up with us, that is the best way. That's usually when we let you know that we have a vlog up or something like that. So make sure you're definitely following us on our social media sites, which again will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.